weird chemicals in the house, speakers, scales. This was all described by Ms. Walls. She took some photographs of rather disturbing books that were found. One named Silent Death, the author being Uncle Fester. There's also the Home Workshop for Explosives by Uncle Fester, and there was Advanced Techniques of Clandestine Psychedelic and Amphetamine Manufacture.
Hey everybody, John Van Dyke here, New Jersey Exposed. Today is Wednesday, June 2nd, 2021. Time is 7:55 p.m. Jersey State of Mind time. Now I know Ronnie Eaton out there, he's in a Jersey state of mind because you know why? He lives in Jersey. He understands what I'm talking about. Anybody who lives in Jersey knows what I'm talking about. It's a whole different world over here. Whole different state of mind and time. Alright, so this is an update on our meth lab cop. You remember that story? I had it out last week. He had a meth lab going on down in his basement, and his wife, turned him in. Was setting him up. She took pictures and everything. You badge bunnies out there, you know, you cops, I gotta tell you something, you bad cops out, you are your own worst enemy. Own worst enemy, and I'm gonna give that credit. That statement goes credit. It's gonna go out to my friend Mike out there, Mike the former cop. He said, he says, cops are their own worst enemies. So I'm stealing that from Mike. I'll give Mike credit for that. So let's read this an update in the APP.com, and here it is. I'm surprised I'm able to bring the thing up. There's a video of this, and I will include the video. And let's find out what's going on, because he had to go to court for his first appearance. So this is Christopher Walls of Long Branch Police Department. You know, Long Branch has had 5 bad apples within the past 5 years. Probably less than 5 years, probably 4 years. 5 bad apples. One killed a lady because he was drunk. Another one, he groped a woman, groped a young lady. We had another one that was stole money from the PBA. We have another one who was a canine officer who was drunk. Doesn't know where he was at for 2 hours, and he woke up with his car wrapped around a telephone pole. And now we got the meth lab guy, Christopher Walls. All right, so this was this came out on May 26th. Before being charged with running a home meth lab, a veteran Long Branch police officer. Now I want you people to listen to this. I already know what the lawyer's doing, getting ready to do. Lawyer's going to set it up that he's a victim. The stress of the job, poor me, financial problems, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be the same story. They're victims. Every time they're a victim. I've never seen a bunch of pussies in my life. You know, I'm not saying cops are pussy, but they sure use the pussy card all the time. Alright, a veteran Long Branch police officer mentioned Walter White, the high school chemist gone rogue in the series Breaking Bad, to another officer when talking about family and money problems, a prosecutor said. The defendant made a statement to the officer indicating that Walter White made a lot of money making meth, Assistant Monmouth County Prosecutor Melanie Falco said. That came out during a pretrial detention hearing Wednesday for Christopher Walls, 50, a 19-year veteran of the Long Branch Police Department. Superior Court Judge Paul Escandon ordered the pretrial release of Walls, saying the state did not present enough of a case to overcome the presumption that Walls should be freed. Now, the question I have, is there a restraint order on him? Because he was allegedly involved in a domestic violence. That's what they tell us, but it seems suspicious to me because the wife was already scheming against him to get him arrested. So I don't know if she purposely started a fight or just that's the precursor, what they did so they could get to the house, to get into the house and give him an excuse to go in the basement. We don't know, but that's a question. Okay, so is he going to be allowed to go back to his house with his wife there? I don't know. I got a feeling he's not going to be able to go back to the house. Podescon, stressing he was not the trier of fact in the case, also said he found the evidence against Walls to be overwhelming. Well, I think when you got pictures of meth lab, of ingredients and things, and books about poisoning people and building bombs, not too good. I think there are parallels between the fictional story of Breaking Bad and Walter White to Mr. Walt's situation. As Candon said in a popular AMC show, I never saw it, Walter White resorts to cooking meth as a quick moneymaker when he is diagnosed with cancer and fears being unable to provide for his family. The show chronicles the character's moral descent from ordinary suburban family man to a criminal seeking to build a drug empire. So you see, they're already building the case. He's going to cry financial problems, his marriage is falling apart, his whole life is unraveling, the stress of the job, he can't pay his bills. The man's making almost $130,000 a year, he can't pay his bills. The whole story's coming. Get ready for it. He's going to go to jail, but they're going to drop a lot of it, and they're going to make a little sweetheart deal, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault. I wouldn't be surprised the minute he gets out of jail, he'll be, if he has any money, he will enroll right into a rehab. And there's a picture of the guy. He's a creepy looking, man. Man, he's a hairy dude. Jesus. Let me see what else here. Hours later, Escon ruled the State Appellate Division issued a stay allowing the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office to appeal the ruling in its bid to keep Walls in jail. Now, I gotta tell you, I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. I don't think he needs to be out, because if he's taking this shit, and I suspect that he is, because a neighbor in an interview had said they noticed he had been losing weight, and that's part of taking meth and fentanyl and those kind of things. Keep Walls in jail. Their opposition papers are due Thursday. Walls was still listed as being held at Monmouth County Jail Wednesday evening. Falco outlined the state's case against Walls, keying in on statements he made to Long Branch police officers. I was surprised he talked. Why didn't he shut up? So he needs to get another charge called stupidness. After being charged, Walls wrote to his family saying, "I know everything looks horrible, and for the most part it is horrible." During a domestic dispute on May 15th between Walls and his wife, the wife told police that she believed Walls was engaged in suspicious drug activity at their home on West End Avenue, according to an affidavit of probable cause. Present were Walls' 21-year-old daughter and her husband, and Walls' 13-year-old daughter, Falco said. Walls' wife provided photographs to police that she took of how-to books belonging to Walls about making methamphetamine, explosives, and poison, according to the affidavit. Wife of arrested officer told police about meth lab. But defense attorney Peter O'Mara said there are too many missing pieces in the case to make the charges stick. What's missing is drugs. There was no actual methamphetamine or chunks of methamphetamine or rocks of methamphetamine found, he said. There was no package found, no baggies found, no vials found. The wife said they existed, but they weren't found. Yeah, there was no ventilation, no odors. There were no masks. There were no PPEs. There was no blah, blah, blah. There was no cash. There's no... Yeah, because he's just getting set up. What do you think? He's cooking the meth down there for a couple of weeks? And then the wife just got fed up with it? I got a feeling he started bringing the shit home, and she started figuring out what was going on. Hey, honey, what's this beaker doing down here? Falco said the Monmouth County Prosecutor's Office has only begun its investigation. O'Mara said a person is guilty of maintaining or operating a CDS production facility when the person knowingly does that to sell and manufacture methamphetamine. The definition of manufacturing includes packaging and repackaging. O'Mara said that does not exist in the case. Well, maybe he is not doing it to sell, because it seems to me pretty stupid if you're a cop trying to sell drugs that you could get caught up in a drug sting. I got a feeling, based on just a theory, I don't know if it's true, that if he was in fact lost weight and is using drugs, that he probably is going to make it so he could have his own drugs and not have to go out and buy it. And if he's having money problems, that's another reason not to go out and buy it. It'd be cheaper to buy the stuff. But one asks the question, why does he have the book on poison and making explosive? That's the one that's weirding me out more than anything. Why does he have that? That seems odd. All right, after the New Jersey State Police hazardous material response unit came to Wall's home, they found all the ingredients necessary to manufacture methamphetamine and turned up 2 beakers of or other glassware that later tested positive for methamphetamine residue, authorities said. But O'Mara said the field test used on that was found in Wall's home are notoriously inaccurate. Walls is facing charges of first-degree maintaining, operating a controlled dangerous substance production facility, second-degree possession of firearm. See, he's not getting out of the firearm deal. He's stuck with that. CD offense, second-degree risking widespread injury, second-degree endangering the welfare of a child, third-degree manufacturing CDS. Well, here's the deal. If they can prove that there's residue of methamphetamine on the beaker, then he actually made it. And having the firearm there, possession of a drug, makes the charge even worse. So he's got a couple charges against him. Wallace was making an annual salary of $125,531 as of December. And he's been on the force since December 2002. You know what the shame is? He's literally 1 year away or less from retiring because they changed the rules here in New Jersey that these heroes can now retire after 20 years. So I suspect, as I said in the last video, he's going to try to stall this as long as possible so he can hand his resignation. He's got to stall before he gets fired. So the question is, are they going to make a deal where he'll do a plea deal to whatever charges? They'll allow him to retire and not get fired. He should be fired. He can't show up for work, so why isn't he not fired? I mean, if you or I don't show up for work, we get fired, right? Especially if we don't show up for a couple days in a row and we're sitting in jail. This is the special treatment that cops get. He faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted of the charge of operating a CDS production facility, and up to 10 years in prison if convicted on the second-degree charge, including, according to the prosecutor's office, third-degree crimes carrying a possible sentence of 3 to 5 years in prison. So things are not looking good for this hero, fine, upstanding, well-trained professional hero who supposedly, and it looks like he is, was getting himself a meth lab put together and having little marital problems. And I suspect he probably got this, again, I'm just thinking out loud, don't know if it's true or not, just alleging. I think he has already been involved with meth for a while now, and the wife is starting to figure it out, and he's coming home from work and he's acting a little bizarre. Maybe he's very nasty until he gets his meth in him, then he's happy, and that's probably what was going on. The marriage started falling apart, and maybe he's short on money because he was buying the meth. I don't know. Stealing from the evidence locker. I don't know. But that's what I think. I think he was already on it, causing marital problems, and he started to build something at home. And the wife has had enough of the crap, and she's diming him out, as they say here in New Jersey. She dropped a dime on him. She's diming him out. Somebody said that must be a Jersey thing. I don't know if that's a Jersey thing. Diming someone out, back in the day when a payphone was 10 cents, you dropped a dime on somebody. So when I said drop a dime, that means you're ratting somebody out. You're going to snitch on somebody. You're going to call the police on somebody dropping a dime. Or you could say drop a quarter, because then phones went up 25 cents, and now there's like no pay phones. So maybe you're dropping a cell phone. I don't know, dropping a line. So anyway, I'll put this link in the description, and you can watch the video on there from the link itself. You can read the whole story yourself, and let me know what you think. Our hero from Long Branch, the Long Branch Police Department has produced some world top shelf heroes. Got to give them credit. I'm afraid that, you know, now the chief has resigned over there, retired, that they're not going to have a chief anymore. They're going to have a public safety director, I think it is. So maybe Long Branch, after this new regime in there running things, maybe they won't produce as many heroes. I don't know. But anyway, you got a cop caught making a meth lab. Not looking good for him. Till next time, people.
It sound right, boys.